right, I'm on the recording. All right, EM Hotep family, you're tuning into the Pro Black Perspective on Kingdom Music Radio. Make sure you check out the other shows, of course, including the Harsh Reality Podcast, Revolutionary Matron, although I'm not sure if that's a thing. Forecast, of course, for Kari and Tanzan's African Minds. Oh, of course, as well as Sister Cassandra Cheeks. She's been out here in Africa as well. A lot of us have been trying to go. A lot of us in Africa. I'm still here, week 7. I know you guys are like, damn, bro, you must be getting gray hair and a beard. But I had that back in America. So I know some of you thinking, man, bro, it's early. It's 4:51 over here. Like, I get that it's probably, I don't know, I can't remember, 9 o'clock where you guys are, or 4 or 8:52 on the eastern part of America. But it's 4:52 here. And of course, well, it's Christmas for those of you who, well, I'll say it's December 25th. And for those of you who might be Christian, this might be one of your holidays. So I already know you ain't gonna listen to me anyway. So there you have it. Actually, some Muslim ladies telling me, anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the show right. I'm gonna tell you guys this episode is finna be crazy. I actually just made a recording. I think some of you guys might have seen it on the YouTube Shorts. So I'm just gonna upload it real quick, and then we're gonna talk about what this episode is gonna be about, because this one is hell hath no fury. like low key, I don't even know if somebody's listening to me right now. Okay, low key, I don't even know if somebody's listening to me right now, and I don't mean somebody on the recording. I know 2 people just joined the stream. I don't know if somebody's at my window. Okay, I do not know. Okay, this is the situation that I'm in. So yeah, your boy got in trouble with I actually got in trouble with the law. I want y'all to know. I'll tell you when I go on vacation, when I go to a nation, I'm gonna explore. I'm gonna see what it's like, and y'all gonna get to live it vicariously. Now, when Buana shows up, I want to show y'all. Boy, I want to show y'all something when Buana shows up. So Buana, get your black ass over here. You know what I'm saying? Buana, just check in. Make sure whenever I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write in the chat. Just Buana check in. Buana check in. You know, we gonna do it like we in the hood. Okay, Buana check in. All right. Make sure you check in for your safety. Cause yeah, I tell you guys, I come across this philosophy, right? That this is a country where you gotta pay for women. I don't know why. It's like I said, it's run by these beta men. I'm gonna tell you guys these freaking stories. These men are so fucking beta. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That said, because it's run by betas, you have to pay. Like, you have to pay to play. In fact, well, shit, yeah, you have to pay to play. That said, knowing that you have to pay to play, when that's the philosophy, when that's the ruling philosophy, you have to pay for the best, or like what you believe is the best. Like, what is your ideal? That's what you should pay for. Anyway, that said, let me show you guys some of the food. And by the way, I'm telling you right now, the food is not good, but I still want to show you guys. Calamari and prawns
and kachumbari.
Yeah, so you guys heard that. My son's playing video games in the back. Calamari and prawns
and kachumbari.
Oh, actually, let me shout out to damn, how did I hold on a second. Let me I know y'all heard me cough, y'all heard my son cough. Only one person cared. So let me shout out. I put it up on Twitter initially. What is this? Oh, they changed their name. But okay. They changed their name. But shout out to Sean. Shout out to Sean for supporting a brother. You know, shout out to Sean for saying, "Here you go." You know, I heard that you're sick. Here's some money. You know what I mean? Shout out for that. You know, now some of you might be like, well, how much was it? You know, and I mean, there's no shame. Like low key, like sending anything is better than sending nothing. You know, so I'll tell you guys, $5. That's 10,000 shillings. That's a lot of money here. I mean, it's not a lot of money for me, but it's a lot of money for the people here, right? The brother said, look, here's 10,000 shillings. Get yourself some medication. You know, get your son some medication. And believe it or not, you could actually get medication for your son and yourself for 10,000 shillings. So shout out to this brother for that. You know, a lot of other people, you know, a lot of like that's a shout out. Like that's good. You know, some of you guys in America, you're like sitting there, oh my gosh, $5, that's nothing. Oh my gosh, if I were to send money, I would send $50 at least, you know? Good for you, but you ain't send it. You know, good for you, but you ain't send it. What I'm going to say is this. So, you know, shout out to that. I just wanted to remind people. I wanted to just shout out that because that's respect. You know what I mean? I've been here um for 7 weeks now. You know what I mean? Of course, I've been doing a bunch of fuck shit. I ain't gonna hold you guys, but notwithstanding that, I got $5. You know, and I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. You know. Anyway, so before we get into let me get into the highlight. No, let me not get into the highlight just yet. Ooh. See, that's what I'm saying. The day went different. I thought the highlight was going to be what Barner wants to see. I thought that was going to be the highlight. The highlight was not that. The highlight was not that. So anyway, let me see if I got to figure out. See, because I don't delete the old stuff, so I don't know where to, like, what's new. As that last week. I feel like I showed you guys that last week. So we're just gonna go through these videos and see what's up.
Pick and Peel seems to be the best brand.
Pick and Peel. Make sure you guys. It's from Kenya. What's this? I showed y'all that. That was that was old girl. You actually got another video of her. Matter of fact, I actually got in trouble for having a video of her. Not her exactly, but you guys get what I'm saying. Oh man, I'm a dog.
I didn't clean it off after I used it, and look at the shit. Like, it's moving. Yeah, I'm not drinking this shit, man.
Okay, second set. Okay, second set. Let's go. We got a minute on the clock. That's still a pretty good video, so y'all gonna see it again. Okay, second set. Let's go. We got a minute on the clock. 10 kilograms. People, when I still have 10 kilograms in my hand. That's crazy.
Like, I'm like crouching. It's crazy.
is trying to have Lana here before I show the
Right, fam.
derriere, but
this woman threw objects through my window, showed up unannounced, and when I take the case to the police, they're like, I can go to jail. Boys.
Let's just talk about this fuck shit. All right, so here's what happens, okay? It's a crime. It's a cyber crime to publish pornographic material in Tanzania. Okay? To publish pornographic material in Tanzania. I'm gonna say it again. It's a crime to publish pornographic material in Tanzania. It's not a crime to film it. Okay? It's not a crime to film pornographic material. It's a crime to publish pornographic material. All right. That said, the law is written in English. English is not the primary language here. Okay. So these motherfuckers are trying to put me to prison. So here's what happens, right? This woman, I'm not trying to deal with this woman, okay? Like basically this woman showed me she wasn't a great character. You know, she's like, I'm hood. And and I'm like, what does hood mean in this country? I'm from New York City. I'm from Brooklyn, right? Like what does hood even mean? Like I definitely don't mess with no hood chicks in America, but she's like, we're hood. What we do is we actually sell marijuana, you know? Like okay, like okay, you sell marijuana. Like marijuana is so fucking like people in America sell marijuana so fucking much that it became legal. Like I'm not worried about no motherfucking hood. Now she did say that she did witness in her neighborhood because they don't have guns here like that. Police do, security guards do, but they don't usually have guns like that. So they would chop somebody up with a machete, right? Which is like, not really what I want to go through, right? That said, yeah, so this woman, I'm not really trying to bother her too much because Pum Pum not that great. Pum Pum's kind of like she's kind of costly and all that, but she promised that she would make a video with me, okay? And why do I want a video? Because I'm making memories in this country. I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna look back. And I've said to myself, if she says she will, then why not, right? So I communicate to her, hey, let's do this video. She's like, yes, I just need a mask. And I'm like, okay, then bring a mask next time you show up. She's like, yes, I will. Basically, it's completely consensual, right? Here's the thing though. So before that, she's like, hey, my mother's in the hospital and I need this amount of money to get her to some operation or something. I don't know. I don't really care. But I'm like, sure, I could send you 50, whatever. But if I do that, then I don't have to give you money when you're here, right? And she's like, yes, you don't have to give me money if you send me money now. I'm like, that's perfect, right? Later on, she's all like, hey, like the day before we were supposed to meet, she's all, hey, I have this this kind of big expense, like driver's license expense, and could you help me with this? And I'm just like, I'll think about it because realistically, I'm like, look, you already fucking told me I don't have to give you any fucking more money. So shut the fuck up and just like come over, right? Anyway, so she comes over, and we make a video, and then I'm like, let me just give her like like even though she said I shouldn't give her anything, I'll just give her a little bit just for just because it's just still weird to like in this country it's still weird to not give somebody something, right? So she's like, this is it? And you're like, what do you mean this is it? And I had to go that time because for some reason she like slept over, so I had to go because I had something to do in the morning, right? In fact, I had to go to the courthouse, right? So but she's like holding me hostage, like, no, you have to send more, and I'm like, I don't really like, because again, it's not worth as much as she's asking for, right? The booty's not worth that much, right? So I'll give you guys a perspective. All right, so like I said, there's betas in this country, right? Betas, what they do is they pay for sex, right? And the way that they do it though, like, so basically you listen to them enough and they will tell you um like what's high end versus what's low end, right? So low end is like 40K, which is like $20, right? High end is like 100K. Okay. Right, which is like $50. Super high end, right, is like 250K. Okay, which is like $100, right? Um, but that's like super high end. Like, yeah. In fact, actually, low key, yeah. It's like super high end, right? That said, um, she was asking for 250 for her driver's license or something like that. I don't care about driver's license, right? So I'm just like, no, I'm not giving that because first off, you're not super high end, right? Now, if I were to see you multiple times, sure, but like, I'm not gonna just give you that because you're not super high end, right? You're basically low end, but you don't think so, and that's fine. So, me, somebody, whatever, right? Um, that said, she does manage to squeeze a little bit more from me because she's like, hey, if I say it's 250, the least you can do is give me 150. And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, um, I'm like, okay, I'll give like I give her 40 at the time, then I give her then I send her like 120 because I'm like, look, I have medical expenses and shit, right? You think that's the end of it? She's like, then delete the videos, and you're like, you know, um, I finally have to like leave. I don't like force her out. I just kind of like, look, I gotta go. I really have to go to this court appointment, whatever, right? I don't write her again, kind of delete her number. I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, I already didn't want to deal with her again. I didn't want to deal with her, period. It's just that, like I said, she was doing the video thing, and I was like, fine, let me do that. Hold on a second. Wait, hold on a second. Sorry. Sorry, honey. All right. Anyway, so I leave it alone. Then I have, you know, uh, let's say a high end lady. So I can show you guys a high end lady just for reference. When Bonner comes back, remind me to show you guys this, but this is a high end. Yeah, so I said to myself, look, why am I messing with all these why am I messing with low tier or whatever? Let me see what this high end thing is about. And I'm just like, yeah, this is pretty good. All right. Pretty good. I mean, it was awkward, it was sad. It was like this woman is clearly, about her derriere. And she doesn't speak any English. So it was just really awkward and whatever. But it is what it is, right? That said, that happens. Okay, great day. I'm like, wow, this is one of the better days. It starts off me getting some food, and then me messing with this lady, and then all of a sudden, this woman is writing me, "Are you gonna send me any more money?" Like, I'm just like, I don't have no intention to, like unless she's gonna do some fuck shit. I don't really see why I would send her more money, right? She does some fuck shit, but of course I don't send her more money. Either way, I'm like, yeah, I don't intend to. And she's like, I need the money. You don't understand. I got into debt for this and that and so on and so forth. I need the money, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But like, after like you have trouble with making a woman leave, which is a thing apparently, like they don't just leave. This woman, the high end woman, just left, which was nice. Probably because we can't conversate with each other. But like, that's nice. That's cool. Like when a woman just leaves, that's good. When a woman just like hangs out and you're like, hey, can you leave? And she's like, no. Or she's like, no, I just want to stay here, that's not cool. Actually, yeah, it's not cool. So, I was gonna warn you guys, like, do not bring crazy to your house. Obviously you just bring her to a hotel or something, but you don't bring her to your house because here's what's gonna happen, boys. Minding my business. So, like I said, I already had a good day, and then suddenly this happens.
What are you doing at my house? Oh my gosh.
Guys, look at this guy.
What guy? The guy you showed up at his house without invitation?
The guy who wanted to fuck around and he left tobacco cigarette fucking the housemate? Look at you living your life. Look at this life.
Okay.
With your small kid, you can even walk around with the dick out.
Okay, Asante.
Oh.
Yeah, boy. So I'm just like, what? Then, check this out.
She just broke this glass on my floor.
She took up one of the deodorants that was laying by the door, by the window. For some reason, this window doesn't fucking lock. Anyway, she picked up one of the glasses and then threw it at me. And look at this shit. If you guys hear that music in the background, that's the police having me on hold. Like, that's the police having me on hold. like you're like, hey, why is there gospel music in the background? The police have you on hold for like an hour, and then whenever it finally went through, they would hang up on me immediately, which was weird, you know. So basically, this woman was also making these threats, like, so like I had like the house help and the security guard. I was like, yo, guys, call the fucking police, and they were like, no, because she's related to. She says she's the police officer's daughter, or the police officer's niece, and because she is, you'd get in more trouble with the law if the police showed up. And it's like, she's not. The police never show up. She's like, wait till my uncle show up. You know, just a bunch of empty threats. And these motherfuckers are eating it up. Okay, they're eating it up. They're like, oh no, and it's just like, oh my fucking gosh. Like I told you guys before, this country is like almost everybody's a fucking child. Like almost everybody's a fucking child. Like, I even have the security guard, right? Not the security guard. The manager comes through, and the manager is like, hold on a second. And the manager is like, he's like, oh, hold on a second. And the manager is like, don't call the police. Just go out and talk to her. And it's like, I'll show you guys some of the freaking text that she's sending me, okay? I think I might have ran out of text, by the way. Hold on a second. Let me just double check on something. Yeah, basically somebody just texted me like, you know, they're asking where I was. You know, it's Christmas for people in this country. And so they asked me where I was. Now, I think I ordered a bunch of texts, like SMS information. Yeah, this is stupid. This is like this. I can't even, man. I can't even. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me just double check. They're telling me that I ran out of text. Like it's so weird. Hold on a second. They're telling me. So basically, you buy SMS. You buy SMS by the number. Okay. And so I got a message saying that I ran out of text, but apparently I didn't. So that's cool. What were we talking about? Where's Buana? But yeah. Oh yeah, let me say why no love for ABS. Well, I shouldn't say why no love. It's only like, you know, but like yeah. Anyway, that happened. So yeah, she shows up at my house and she's there for like 2 hours and she's texting me. Let me show you guys this text. Cause I can't even like it's almost embarrassing because people are like, you should go out and talk to her. You know, she's like, I'm outside your house. Open the door. It's 2 p.m. Right? My kid's in the freaking front of the door, pretty much. Then like comes to the window, throws some shit at me, yeah, and all that kind of crap. And I'm just like, what? Like, where's the police? Like, I'm calling them. They're not picking up. They're not answering. The only time the police show up is when my friend comes from another part of the city. All right, comes from outside of the city and then goes to the local police and then brings them over to my house. But they were not going to show up. It's crazy. And then she writes me at 3:36. She's still outside. One last chance. Are you coming out or not? Because trust me, I will fuck you up big time. And I don't fucking care about anything about you and your son. It's either I am hurt or we are both at police. And I'm ready. I don't give a fuck about going home. And I'm waiting for the manager of this house to come. your blood or my blood. And like I said, the manager comes through, right? What was her issue? Nobel War Prize. I'll tell you. So and she's like, your blood or my blood. And the manager comes through and is like, hey, why don't you go out there and just talk to her? So here's the thing. So she basically consents to be in a video with me. Okay. But then she also wants me to pay for something that I don't want to pay for. Like that we never agreed that I would pay for. Okay. Basically, she says, hey, you don't owe me any money if I show up. And I'm like, that's fine. And then later on, like the day before, she's like, I have this big expense. And I'm like, that's cool. Sad story, but that's not what I'm interested in right now. Right. So then after we, you know, copulate or whatever, she's like, so remember that big expense? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have that because my son and I, you know, had medical expenses. Right. And I mean, of course I have the money, like, obviously, but she's not worth the money. You get what I'm saying? And like, there's only so many ways you can tell somebody that. Either way, she's all like, she's pissed about that, you know, because she has this expense that she's taken up on herself. Basically, her driver's license. Like, why do you even need? Like, why is that a requirement for me to contribute to? She even tells me her boyfriend. Yeah, she's a boyfriend. Her boyfriend gives her so much more money. Like, okay, good for you. Or she even tell me, hey, you know, that sex video is worth so much. Well, if it's worth that damn much, then why don't you sell it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you sell it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's really not that complicated. So that said, yeah, she's basically, like I said, like she starts off the whole day with something like, are you sending me any more money? Right? And because I wasn't sending her more money, because like I said, she wasn't worth it. I didn't tell her that, but because of that, she decides to come on the offense. And yeah, I mean, long story short, what happens is my friend comes back with the police, right? After she's already gone for an hour. Okay. She's been there for 2 hours, but the police decide to show up after my friend shows up with the police. Because my friend was like, I'd rather talk to her. Everybody's like, why don't you go out and talk to her and talk some sense into her after I've already been assaulted? Like after I'm already bleeding. They're like, go talk to her, you know? No, put this motherfucking idiot in jail. She's fucking like went into my window and threw shit at me. You know what I mean? She threw something at me. Like boys, like do your fucking job. So I show up to the police, right? And like I said, she already had like quite a bit, you know? But I show up to the police. She showed up to the police. Yeah, I go to the police office and they're like, hey, you can't record pornographic videos. No. Here's what happens. Guy comes over. The police officer, he's like, show me the video, right? Now this motherfucker is enjoying watching this video so fucking much because for what it's worth, like I'm a damn good camera. Like I make it look good. You know what I mean? I'm motherfucking Will Smith, you know, and MIB, you know, like, you know, different between you and me is I make it look good, right? So this motherfucker is just salivating watching my video of me and this lady, right? Then he's like, well, the conclusion is we're gonna bring this lady over, even though she's threatening to hurt me and my child. We're gonna bring her into this small room at the precinct, and she's gonna delete the video. I'm gonna delete the video in front of her, right? Fine. Except for I'm like, I don't even feel safe with this woman just attacking me, right? That said, they decide, okay, we're going to record me deleting the video. Now, here's how stupid this motherfucking country is. I'll tell you this. No disrespect to Tanzania, but this is how stupid some of the people are. First, so for basically, I have this translator, right? My friend, right? The friend. She shows up and does no, like, I have to, like, people here believe that you're a fucking idiot foreigner. Okay, you're a stupid foreigner. Therefore, they will talk for you and handle everything for you. Okay? Meanwhile, everybody's motherfucking crazy. Like everybody's motherfucking like immature, young, stupid, like no disrespect. But like I don't know how to say it because you're gonna hear this and be like, what the fuck? So basically, look, the cybercrime law, right? It reads, you cannot publish pornographic material. You cannot publish pornographic material or cause pornographic material to be published. That's it. Or you can face a fine or whatever. You cannot publish. Publish. Okay? That means if I upload it, if I send it, that's a motherfucking crime. If you record it, it's not a crime. Okay? If you record it, it's not a crime. If you publish it, it is a crime. And I'm going to read the crime act to you guys later when I'm going through the text that I, prepared. Right? Either way, I'm there. My interpreter, because everybody's motherfucking scared of the police in this country. I told you guys about this last week. The police officer says, send me the video. The police officer tells me to send him the video. Now remember, you cannot publish pornographic material. Why the fuck would I break the Cybercrime Act right there? And my interpreter is like, yeah, send me the video. And so I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. You know, right? Like the interpreter's like, okay, then send me the video and then I'll send it to the police officer. What kind of dumb shit? Like how stupid? How fucking stupid? So then I'm like, no, that's the fucking crime. And they're like, oh yeah, you're right. And then I don't have to send it. But why the fuck would I send like, bros? Oh my gosh. And like this is not even a video with like me like not being seen. Like, because respectfully, like I said, the woman showed up with the intent to make the video to the point where she was wearing a mask. You know what I mean? Like in America, there's actually there was actually a case of this woman who was like, I was raped by this dude, and the case was dismissed because she told him, well, at least put on a condom, and then so he puts on a condom, and then the case was dismissed because it's like she consented. Okay, this woman's wearing a mask. In the video, she even says when to turn the video off, when to turn it on, all that kind of stuff. She even told me, hey, do this angle because this angle's better. Boys. That said, yeah, it's a big cybercrime if it were. So they forced me to delete the video. And then I'm like, well, will you at least, then the guy says he wants 250,000 shillings. The officer says that. Now the lady then says that's too much, make it 100. And then, but I'm not understanding the language because it's Laki, like Laki Mbili, Hamsini, right? No, Laki Mbili Elfu Hamsini, right? But I didn't hear him say that, so I eventually hear them saying Laki, and at first I'm thinking that they were talking about 1 million. So I was just like, what? How much is that? And then somebody says 100,000, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I could pay that. And so after I say that, he's like, no, 150,000. And I'm like, okay, whatever, right? So basically, and then they do some roundabout way for me to pay them. But long story short, yeah, I end up, like, obviously I end up paying more, but I'm okay with that because realistically, I want this lady arrested. Now, does she get arrested? She gets a warrant for her arrest. However, I'm not sure she was arrested. Okay? I'm not 100% sure if she was arrested because, it doesn't say, 150,000 would be, so no more bright eyes. How much is 150,000? 150,000 is $60. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, $60 to, let me see. Somebody is just asking Nina Fania Kazi. So Nina Fania Kazi means I'm working. Yeah, 60. How much this motherfucker I should have been like, hey, look, you get 100K now, and you get the other 50 after she's arrested. That's what I should have done. But instead, I just gave the 150 because again, it's like $60. I don't really care. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like I spend more than that on dates, and then like I said, this woman. So Noble Sawa, good work, she said. Okay. Yeah. So like I don't even care. Like I said, like yeah. Let me show you guys this. Let me show you Noble War. This sister. She's so like she's just like yeah. This is it. Yeah, boys. It looks better with clothes off, but but I'm not trying to get flagged. But like I said, if you're going to pay, just pay for the best. Like fuck it. Like what are you paying for the mid? You know, like why? What's the point? What do you get from paying for mid? Anyway, exactly. No, but is it worth the time? Like, what are you paying for mid for? Like, because you're gonna pay for mid. You're gonna pay for low. Like, if you spend time at low end, you're gonna pay for low end. If you spend time at mid, you're gonna pay for mid, and you know it all adds up. So instead of just like,
Wild. Isn't this crazy? Insane, boys. No other culture.
yeah, they got white Santa in Black Africa. Anyway, so that's it. Oh, look, they got this.
They got COVID all. That's crazy.
Actually have COVID all in this country. That's crazy. Y'all remember COVID all? The pharmacist was like, "Yo, this is really good stuff." And I was like, "Would you take it?" And she's like, "Nah, I wouldn't take it." You know?
Crazy. What are you doing at my house? Oh my gosh.
Guys, look at this guy.
What guy? The guy you showed up at his house without invitation?
The guy who wanted to fuck around and he left Tobacco Segueria fucking the housemate. Look at you living your life. Look at this life.
Okay.
With your small kid, you can even walk around with the dick out.
Okay, Asante.
Oh.
You guys could tell that this country is just kind of like, what is she talking about? Like, I didn't even mess with the house girl at Tabata, you know? Like I literally haven't messed with any house girls, and that's the thing that I wanted to talk about too. That somebody says that sexual abuse, is actually pretty common in this country. Because somebody was like, "Hey, don't mess with house girls because, like, the homeowners almost always messing with the house girl. You know, the homeowners almost always messing with the house girl, and then it's also like at bars and other places of business. Like pretty much if you have a male boss, he might be messing with you, as well as the patrons. So they were like, you gotta avoid that. Were there any indication that she was crazy or red flags? Yeah, bro, there was. Like at one point she like texted me randomly, like, are you stalking my phone? Like, are you like tracking my phone? And I'm like, what? And she's like, just answer the question. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what are you fucking talking about? She's like, on Apple, you know, you could track somebody's phone or something. Like you could tell if somebody's tracking your phone. And then she's like, she found out who was doing it and she dealt with it. And I'm like, what? You know, like, yeah, there were red flags. But like I said, like what happened was like usually like I don't really mess with these women again. I usually try to avoid messing with them again because they're like you already know there's like gold diggers. Like I knew she was a gold digger, right? And so I wasn't really trying to mess with her again. But what happened was she promised to make a video like the last time we were together, but then she was like, "Oh, I want to wear a mask." And I was like, "Okay." So I kind of like didn't write her, but like when she did finally write me, right? You know, she was like, "Yeah, I'll make a video with you." And so I was like, "Okay, cool." But like I thought that was gonna be the end of our legit. I wasn't gonna keep talking to her. She just you know, like it just so happened that things just went sour. And here's the trouble too. So there was another woman right after her who also seems a little crazy. Like here's like we're on a date, right? We're at a beach. She was fucking late, but anyway, we're on a beach, and then she's like my son's like using my phone to watch like home movies, not the movies that not the movies I was filming, but like movies of him, and all that kind of stuff. And so he's doing that. Then we have to like the food comes finally because food services at restaurants at least take forever, right? So like we're talking like an hour plus, right? But anyway, so we go to wash our hands, and then I come back and this woman is looking through my phone. Not the same woman, another woman, right? She's looking through my phone. And I'm just like, what? like I didn't even know this was the first date, man. This is the first date. And so this woman's all like, hey, and she's like, I don't know, this other woman, the next woman's like a compulsive liar. So like at first I was already like on the fence about crazy women, but now I'm just kind of like, I'm low-key kind of avoiding this woman, but she's also like kind of forcing herself to come to me, and I'm just like, so I'm obviously like, they say it doesn't matter what from doing, it is what it is. I mean,
Marcus Garvey.
I saw some Marcus Garvey. It's like I think it's called like Reggae Bar or Rasta Land or something like that. And they had Marcus Garvey. This is more beach.
Marcus Garvey. Made it to Africa.
Yeah, it was like Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey. Made it to Africa.
Oh, man, Marcus Garvey, yo. Let's see. This is it from the fight.
That's the far right.
Y'all know I be a little more Jamaican when I'm here. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
That's the far right.
Yeah, because one of the things about what they said about Jamaicans in America that never really applied to me was that they're good lovers, but they're like messing with different women and they're not really too faithful. So that really applied to me when I was in America. But damn, boy, locals don't enjoy the beach. No, I mean it depends. It depends on what beach, and depends on what time. But you're right. I didn't see many people. Because I guess there's no money to be made out there. I mean, the people I saw out there were making money, or if you already have money, then you're gonna, yeah, yeah, pretty much. Are those all the videos I have? This is
we're living a motorcycle life. It's other city bus. This is the mall, the big mall. This is right here. Yeah, I'm like so afraid to drop in my phone because of no money. Nice.
You know what? I forgot to add the clip. I took a clip of I took a video of inside the mall. I remember I was asked last week about how do the malls look. I'm gonna see if I can find that video while we're searching. But it looks like I actually handled all the videos except for the one that I thought. Nah, there were some videos where I'm talking. Where the fuck are those? Like it's hard to tell what's uploaded versus what's not uploaded. But yeah. That one was really really fun times. So the motorcycle ride, that was me going to this woman who only spoke Swahili. That was fun too. It was like so romantic. She's just like, come see me in the hospital. And so then and it's like in the middle of the night. So I'm just like, sure. And I go in the middle of the night to to basically like just romance a total stranger. It's crazy. All right, here's the like it's just like just life is so like it's so adventurous. He said nightlife looks Rebel War Price says nightlife looks vibrant. You know what? I actually don't really check it out too much because I have this young boy. But yeah, they say it's pretty popping like on the weekends. Like including today, although today I guess is Christmas, so I'm not really I don't do shit on Christmas. Like I'm legit like laying in bed for the whole freaking day. Cause F this holiday. Yeah, okay. All right, but go thing. But yeah. So that's pretty much it. Let me see if I could read some of the prompt though, because beyond just showing you guys what the mall looks like, because I was telling you guys the mall looks pretty modern. And I'm supposed to have some videos where I'm like talking. I don't get.
Uber driver asked me, should I start coming over? No, dude, I just wanted to talk to a guy with a car. That's what I woke up today and ordered an Uber to a restaurant for, just to talk to you.
Yeah, so this is the video of me. Look at this guy, the driver. So they don't use Uber, they use Bolt, but basically it's the same thing, right? And what it does is that you order a ride and then the driver calls you and it's like, where are you? And of course you're on the GPS location. They're like, oh, where are you? Could you explain it? And then and most of the times they're speaking to you in Swahili. And of course people do that pleasantry where they're like, habari yako, as soon as they call. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Just fucking pick me up. So the guy's like, hey, is it okay if I start coming over to you? And it's like, no, dude, I only called you because I wanted to talk to a man with a car. Like, no, mother, like, and I put in coordinates for a restaurant because I just thought it would be cute. Like, no, motherfucker, just like that's the thing I liked about New York was that you just order a ride. You don't talk to the freaking driver. You don't like. There's nothing. You don't talk to the driver. You just go on your freaking ride. Anyway, that was yeah, today there's another video. I put it up on YouTube Shorts. But basically this guy is so you order food. You're like, hey, deliver me some food, right? I don't want to go outside, it's raining. And plus it's the holidays, so I don't really want to fucking bump at anybody. They're like, I don't want to go outside, it's raining, right? And then the delivery person is like, I don't want to go and deliver because it's raining. And you're like, damn, yo, like this country is so fucking black. Like I told you guys, it's like stereotypes of African Americans. It's like, you know how they're like, you're like pretty much like, yeah. So there's, I'll show you guys, but there's like the white man when it comes to like work, he's like a work, like he's like a work, like he workhorses you. You know what I mean? Like he forces you to work under even the worst circumstances to make a fucking deadline, right? Whereas these people, it's like it's so lax. It's so like I'm telling you, like I'm calling the fucking police, and they're hanging up on me. Like I've never like, and this is like not even like a new thing. Like this happened to me last time I was calling the police. Like they would hang up on me over the while, and like you really pretty much just have to go to the precinct. Like you pretty much have to go to the precinct. So if your house is getting attacked, that sucks to be you because you're not gonna be able to make it out. Because the police will hang up on you. It's crazy. And like I said, like this is the police that the white people, like white America, wishes they had for black people. Because how black people are like, hey man, it takes so long for the police to show up and all that kind of stuff. Or or the white man be like, well, you don't like us so much, you don't think our lives matter. Well, why don't we next time why don't you shout to call the car, But they still show up for you. These people will not show up for you, and then they will charge you. It's crazy. Like again, like I obviously prefer this over wintertime in America. And I actually haven't called the police in America not because I think they're gonna shoot me, but also I'm not really a victim of too many crimes. I'm not gonna hold you guys. And I mean here I'm not like again, like it is what it is. Let's see if I can. This video is not uploading, so I'm gonna go into the textual part. When Buana shows up, make sure he can check out the because I tell you, man, that sister was nice. Because like I said, I messed with a different sister. Like I said, the lady who, because that's what I think to realize. It's really hard to tell the body type naked in this country, because you know, like looks can be deceiving. Like the woman that was at the hospital or whatever, she looked like she was gonna be, you know, banging when she was, you know, nude, but she wasn't. You know what I mean? So it's just eh, like I said, like, and of course you still pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You still pay for it. So it's just like if you're going to pay for it, then just pay for the best. So I said, shout out to Sean for sending me $5 because somebody cares. I appreciate that. I appreciate somebody caring. But anyway, so I say, look, don't. And here's the irony. So I wrote this on December 19th. Don't bring crazy home. I had a woman holding me hostage because I didn't pay her more money for our encounter. Okay, bring them to a lodge. I left her there, and I don't know if she trashed anything though. I'll know by next recording. Okay, and I said also the court appointment was delayed. Oh yeah. So I said don't bring crazy home. So this is the woman I was talking about. So I wrote this on December 19th. Like, dudes, there was a crazy woman at my house. Next time, just don't bring her home. This is, and then like I think it was like 2 days, like a week later, she just shows up and trashes. Like she just shows up and starts assaulting me in my house. So like, yeah, lesson fucking learned. And you know, that's like I said, the ancients were like, it doesn't matter what you're doing as much as what you learn from doing it. Now, granted, I'm not really into, like, I was looking around for different hotels that have what's called a sitting room, right? Why you want a sitting room is because I have my son with me, and so you kind of want him to be in a separate room. The first time I rented a place in Tanzania, they didn't have, like, it was just like a one room kind of deal where like you had like a living room space, but it wasn't separating a door. So I had to like pretty much close the bathroom on my son, and women were not comfortable with that until you started having sex. But anyway, like before the real protest, and then you're like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, but yeah. So you don't want that. You want him in his own room, like playing video games or some shit. You know, I mean, he was in the bathroom playing video games, but you know, you want him in his own room playing video games. So like basically, if you didn't come with your child, you have plenty of options for a lodge or a room. You know what I mean? You have plenty of options. If you did come with a child, then your spaces are limited. But it is what it is. Anyway, so like I said, yeah, you got crazy. So, but of course, I mean, I kind of knew she was crazy. I didn't think she was that crazy. And like I said, I'm paying like out my ass for this room, so it is what it is. So I said, also the court appointment was delayed. Check this out. The woman decided she'd show up 2 hours late. No default judgment. I was just needed to wait. So I bring this woman to court. Oh, that was another video I was supposed to upload. Basically, you guys can see another angle of her. And I actually got in trouble with the police for that video of her. So basically, I kind of like, oh, you see that? The fucking video didn't even upload. Let me see if I can upload this. Maybe this one. But like, yeah, I took a video of this. Like again, like I'm not showing people's faces on purpose. I mean, except for the woman who fucking assaulted me because that's just crazy. But I'm not showing faces on purpose. Because you know, like that's not what I would do. Let me see if I can find. Yeah. So these videos sometimes they upload, sometimes they don't. Oh, by the way, that's I'm gonna talk about it later. But basically, there's this woman who, like I said, there's like I don't really want to be messing with a lot of women, right? I don't. I'd rather be messing with one good woman, right? The one good woman I knew, right, totally has a fucking boyfriend, you know? And of course, I don't really care, but I made the mistake of acting like I do care, you know? Like not, yeah, like I pretty much made the mistake of acting like I do care, you know? Like there's this video of this funny, like, I don't know, maybe Australian comedian, white boy, who's like, he's so chivalrous, he's so helpful to women until he finds out that they have a boyfriend, and he's like, fuck you, right? And so I put it up with that WhatsApp status, and she was all, really? And you're like, yeah, man. And basically, long story short, I'm just gonna wash my hands. I just plugged my phone. Long story short, she actually might have blocked me. Like I jokingly said I was gonna block her for having a boyfriend. Long story short, she might have blocked me, and possibly she only blocked me for the holidays because I think she's with her boyfriend right now. You get what I'm saying? Because what happens is that I have two phones, so she blocked one phone and the other phone is not blocked, right? And so on the other phone, I could see her status updates where she's like, "Oh, I had a great year with you, honey." And I was like, "Damn, boy," because like, yeah, I'm gonna be messing with this lady, you know. I mean, if I like, she was probably like the best lay. So, well, the second best if you don't count that fucking super priority, you know. Like, yeah, she was amazing. Like she made a good day. No, she made a bad day good, you know, like a bad day neutral. Like she got me thinking about karma, you know. I'm like, yeah, you know, like you got to have a balance, you know, because like really horrible things happen after her, after she showed up. And it was like, well, that just makes a lot of sense because she was really good. She got me thinking karma's a thing. You know what I mean? I'm not even you know, one of those types, but it is what it is. Let's go back to um the chat. It said, don't bring crazy home. Went to a lodge. Oh yeah, so the woman decides to show up to the court appointment when she decides to show up. Like basically, we have it on paper, on the document. You're gonna pay me X amount of money. You're gonna pay me. It was 200,000 shillings, right? And again, like I don't really care about the money. It's just the fact that she stole it from me. So what happens is she's like, yeah, my sister needs to graduate. And actually, here's what it is. So you know, it's actually a pretty interesting story. Okay, so I'm like, send me dirty pictures if, you know, like as collateral. So her whole pretext at the, you know, in front of the police is that she blocked me because I was asking for dirty pictures, and that's a cyber crime. Okay, now I'm not listening to her, but she's like, hey, dude, for fair warning, don't talk about dirty pictures because that's a crime in Tanzania. And I don't believe her. But yeah, the week later or 2 weeks later, I'm getting caught over that shit. So it's a little bit ironic. So maybe she's a little friendly, but she is a motherfucking loser for stealing that money from me. Anyway, and it's not even like I don't even give a shit about the money. It's just the principle. So I'm dragging her ass to court. But here's the thing. So 12 o'clock, she's supposed to show up. It's on paper, 12 o'clock. She writes me later in the day. No, earlier that day, I can't make it for 12 o'clock because my boss says I can only make it blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to show up at 2, right? And I'm like, I don't give a shit what you say. I'm showing up at 12 because I'm thinking she's trying to trick me. You know what I mean? I'm thinking she's trying to trick me in the sense of I show up at 2, she shows up at 12, and she's like, this motherfucker's not even here. So he's going to lose the case. You understand? He's going to lose the case because he's not even here, right? To collect his money. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna listen to you. I show up at 12, right? Now I show up a little bit later than 12 because what happens is, like traffic is some other. Like no, I'm driving in this motherfucking Bolt or whatever, it's a car, and the dude's car just breaks down randomly, right? Just randomly. So I end up having to like order another ride, and all that kind of stuff. But I end up, you know, showing up, you know, pretty much on time, right? She's not there. And the judge is not even like ruling a default judgment. He's just like, fuck it. You show up. I mean, basically, oh, she said she's going to show up later. Okay, then she's going to show up later. Like, we could wait till 3 o'clock. Bear in mind, what happened was I was dealing with that crazy lady beforehand, so I couldn't even eat. And I was trying to get out of my house. And I made the mistake of telling her that I had to get the appointment at 12. And so she's pretty much just holding me hostage until like 11:30. So she can get more money, and I'm not even planning on giving her any money, right? But she still got some money. Either way, yeah. So 12 o'clock comes. Yeah. So then she shows up at 2. Then the court is already slow. So like by 4 o'clock, I'm getting out. My son is starving. Okay. And then I think I go to a restaurant to wait for a friend. And that restaurant takes like an extra hour to make the food. It's so fucking stupid. Like, oh my gosh, it just like it's so maddening at this point. Anyway, I'm still uploading this video, so let me go back to it. So yeah, basically, there's no default judgment for somebody showing up late or anything. But oh yeah, she showed up with her brother and her father. And her father is just looking at me angrily the entire time. And it's like, motherfucker, I gave 200,000 shillings for your daughter, your other daughter, to for your other daughter to go to school. Why the fuck are you mad at me? And so what happens is that she now shows up and she's like, she told me the day before, I have 150,000 shillings and I'm working to get the next 50. And I'm like, that's fine, right? Or I'm like, no, give me my fucking 200, right? You know what happens? She shows up with 100,000 shillings and says, I had another emergency. So can you take half now and then we can do this court thing again? And it's like, fucking A. And then the court lady says, hey, the court helped you get some money. So are you going to give us any money? And so I end up giving them like, a certain amount of shillings. Now, granted, like I told you guys last week, the court girl is kind of cute. I shouldn't say, but yeah, she's kind of cute. So I'm like, hey, I can give her a little more if you call me, but she refuses. So yeah, that was a little embarrassing. But I gotta tell you guys how to do some game in this country, by the way. Like this one woman. Now, technically, you're not supposed to talk to the women at the restaurants and stuff. But I saw her. I ordered some water. Then I told her, Nina Hataji Nambari, and she goes, Nambari Yako. And then I just give her the phone, and she puts her phone number in, and we start texting. It's so crazy. Because at first I asked her if she spoke English, and she's like, no. But Nina Hitaji Nambari means I need a number, I guess, right? Or I need numbers. And Nambari Yako means your number. So she should have really said Nambari Yangu. She said Nambari Yangu. But another error in uploading these videos, so I don't know what's going to happen. But she should have said Nambari Yangu, like my number. But she said Nambari Yako, and I was just like, whatever, I don't give a shit, I got her phone number anyway, so it's like, who gives a shit? But it's really that simple, boys. I mean, granted, like I said, the restaurant people might be like easy targets. So one, they say wrap it up, and two, like you shouldn't even try them. But it is what it is, I mean, she like she might do. I mean, I don't know if I will. I'm just saying. Anyway, so I said like I videotaped the other lady as a creep, but I didn't get to show that website. So I said they are typing an affidavit at snail pace, having convos with the old girl. So I was writing this while this was happening. I was writing this while this was happening. So I'm like, she's there having fun conversations with them because everybody knows I can't speak Swahili. So they're just having this conversation. She's like, hey, where's this thing? Just delaying the whole process. Like people in the courthouse just having casual conversation while they're typing up stuff just to slow down. Like nobody's really serious about working or time. Like pretty much in this country. It's kind of crazy. Like I said, meanwhile I have some interviews elsewhere. Basically I was supposed to meet with a friend of mine, right? So I said I got half the money, and the court was like, we helped you, so I gave 10 to the cute reception and 10 to the judge. Was going to give another 10 to reception to call me, but she declined, saying I'm giving too much, though I do want that call, so I didn't get the call. Anyway, so I said the lady with the bad limp changed her profile. So here's the thing. So I said there's a lady with a bad limp. That's the lady from the hospital, right? Like a lady who was like, hey, give me some shoes. And she's like again, like she doesn't care about big numbers. She doesn't expect big numbers. So, a brother with money can, act funny. Lack of professional. Exactly. It's just kind of crazy at this point, but it is what it is. This lady, the lady with the bad lip changed her profile picture to mine. Okay. She changed her profile picture to mine. So I have a profile picture on, you guys probably know it from my WhatsApp or my Twitter or my Discord. There's like a picture of me in Tanzania, right? It's a cool picture. She made that her profile picture on WhatsApp. It's that crazy, right? And then now, like when I change my pictures on WhatsApp, right? Or I put up pictures on WhatsApp statuses, she put those same pictures on WhatsApp statuses. It's low-key crazy, but anyway, since everyone is out to extort people over there, yeah, it's kind of bad. Like it's so blatant and in your face, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's also like $5. I mean, it's sad because this is like the Red Raid's country, so it's really sad because he was such a good guy. Like he was such an amazing person, but at the end of the day, it's like whatever. I mean, I had a friend from Tanzania before I showed up here. She said, don't be talking to these women because they will take your money, and like for real, like the biggest expense so far for me has been money and or restaurant food. Like pretty much it's been women. And yeah, they're pretty much all about money. Um, because you know, like the little money that like the $20, for instance, is actually a lot of money here. You know. So wait, what is $20? I can't remember. It's like 60,000 shillings. That's a lot of money to get. You know, like people are probably earning 30,000 a day, um, on a good day. You know, so so they're probably making like $10 to $15 a day on a good day. So if you come into the picture and you're just like, here's $25, hey, thanks for spending time with me. Here's $25, right? They're just like, damn, you know, um, like because nobody else is doing that for them. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I said, later the bad picture, yeah. So she got sick from her client. Either way, she asked me to visit her. Najua, right? I'm coming. No, actually, no. That means I understand. So Nakuja would mean I'm coming, right? Anyway, so I said I visited her and we made out in the streets. And this is what adventuring, albeit dumb, looks like. She's dumb because she's like sick. So I said, stop being in a bubble because you don't want to engage people. That's silly, right? So basically, I went on a motorcycle and I met her at a hospital, and she was sick and I was sicker, like recovering from pneumonia. Notwithstanding that, I was like, I'm going over there to make out with her, and I did. So that was fun. Like that's the kind of adventures that you don't really have while you're in America. Um, because like realistically, like if I were in America, I would just stay in my house. Especially with this winter time, like fuck it, I would just stay in my house. But like here, I'm like, you know, messing with women, you know? And that's one of the things that I didn't like about being in America was that, especially in wintertime, if you did not have a woman by this time, like you were in trouble. You know what I mean? Like you were in trouble because yeah, you were in trouble because basically like yeah, it was just hard. It was just hard. Granted, I was kind of like dorking it, so it is what it is. But anyway, I visited her. Yeah, so I said, by the way, I'm not fluent in Swahili, so she types me in person. Yeah, imagine like we're hanging out in person and she's typing me. So anyway, let me see. There was another lady. Oh yeah, so I met this other lady. She was actually pretty interesting. She was very westernized. You know what I mean? Um, like her whole profile was something like she has a love for literature and all that kind of stuff. She didn't show her picture, which was like a red flag. She ended up being cool though, but um, she had reasons for why she didn't show her picture. She's like, I'm a private person, my job. Most men are distracted by looks, blah 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 blah. A lot of things that I was saying to her because this was on Tinder, by the way. So Tinder is amazing in this country. So in America, you'd be like, I'd be lucky. Now, granted, I did change my profile quite a bit, but in America, I would be lucky to get like 3 matches in a month. You know, I've been here for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, right? I have 140 matches. Okay, 140 matches, right? And like I said, if you're gonna have to pay for any woman you mess with, you might as well. Did I make friends there before I left? I'm still here, but yeah, I made some friends. I made like 2, 3 friends, But yeah. And that's Matron. Shout out to the Matron for being here. Shout out to the Matron for being here. But like, yeah, as I said, I mean, this lady right here could be a friend too, honestly. But she's like, she's fascinated in the English language, and she's, blah 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 blah. So that was an interesting little thing. I also went and investigated a school nearby. The school said it starts on the 9th of January, and you need to pay for 3 months. So I'm not gonna be here for 3 more months, right? So I'm not really looking to pay for 3 months. But they said the payment for 3 months would be 350,000 shillings. So 350,000 shillings is about $200 or something like that, like less than $200. So you can even say $175, but basically $200. And of course, the ratio is like 1 to 2,300 or 1 to 2,200. Sometimes 1 to 2,400, depending on how it goes. But basically, you could just do a 1 to 2, 1 to 2,000 ratio, and just say that this is $200. You show up for $200 and you get some change. That's not bad for 3 months of schooling every day. You know, I think they also feed him. But anyway, oh yeah, so I went on a date with this woman. So this is one weird thing about this country. So that's the second crazy woman. Had a nice body, but she does not shave her freaking facial hair. So she had like little sprigs of hair coming out of her chin, which is like oddly enough, it's like pretty normal. Like this is the first person I've ever like met, like dated who had that. But like at my last apartment, one of the ladies who lived with me also just kind of had those sprigs of hair, and it was just like nothing for them. So whatever. So I said, bro, she was crazy. She took videos of us playing video games naked. Okay. She looked through my phone, was randomly on her period, which I know you guys are like, that's not crazy. I don't think she was really on her period. Some people say that women would say that they're on their period just to not sleep with you. Although she really wanted to sleep with me, so it was kind of weird. But I didn't see any evidence of it. But she asked me at the door if she could come in like a vampire, which was already crazy. Can you imagine coming up to somebody's house and then being like, "Can I come inside?" Why would you fucking ask me if we're walking to my house whether you can come inside of my house? Like that's some vampire shit. You know what I mean? Like I know you guys are like, "Hey, wait a second, dude. Vampires aren't real." Yeah, but why would you ask me? Like, why would we be like, hey, let's go to my place? You're like, sure. And then you're at the door and you're like, can I come in? No, I wanted you to fucking stand outside. Of course I want you to fucking come in. But now I'm kind of confused because why would you ask me? Because that's what vampires do. You know, like, and I don't believe in vampires, but like I said, my brothers were like nerds, so they told me about that shit. And so that kind of just triggered a memory of, oh wait, you know? Anyway, so I said, and she also didn't want to leave. And I said, although I have trouble with last, stop bringing crazy to your home, right? So I was just telling you guys again, stop being crazy. And of course, the lesson is learn. Now she's telling me she wants to hang out again, and I'm kind of like, you know, like I don't know about that, but it's actually really hard to shake crazy. I don't know. So we'll see. Hold on, you superstitious a little bit. Me too, LOL. I'm just saying though, like, why would if I say, hey, come over to my place, and then when somebody's outside the door, they're like, can I come in? Like, yeah. You know, like what? Like nobody stops. Like, and they stop. Like she stopped. Can I come inside? Like, come on. You know, like that's weird. Like, come on, that's weird, right? That's weird. Somebody tell me that's weird. Anyway, oh yeah. So here's the weird thing. So here's what weird thing, and this was actually the second lady who showed up. Like my friend also showed up, and she was like, "Can I shower you?" And I was like, "What? No, because that's weird, right?" So this woman also was like, "Can I shower you?" And here's the weird part. First, she comes over and she's like in the room, and she's like, "Why are you still in the room? I want some privacy." And you're like, "Okay." Right? And you step out. And then later on, she calls Oni, and you're like, what's up? And she's like, come shower me. Like, shower with me. And it's like, why did you kick me out of the room? You know what I mean? Like, why did you tell me you need privacy when you're naked, I guess? I don't know. And then now you want me to shower you. It's like, fucking, like this country just doesn't make sense. Oh, this lady is, yeah, I have this other lady who's like trying to play me for money. Like, just trying to play me for money, and it's just like, my freaking dad. Gosh. So my dad wrote me Merry Christmas. So you know, like usually, like I would curse somebody out for that, but I'm gonna. Well, obviously, I won't do that to my dad. Oh my gosh, this guy. All right, oh, my dad's cool. He's cool. Apparently, like, so here's the weird thing. Actually, I wrote him. Apparently, the weird thing is that somebody said on Twitter. They were like, tell us one thing about your dad. And so I'm like, so I said, he's an intelligent, political, kind of Rastafarian ladies man. And then I'm just like, wait a second, is that me? Like did I become like my dad? Like, yo, like what? At least in a four. And you know, it's ironic. It's ironic too. Because here's the thing actually. Here's ironic. My father probably wasn't like this when he was in Jamaica. But when he went to America, which is a foreign land for him, he was kind of more of a ladies' man, you know? He also had more money. He also had access to more money. So it's kind of weird that, like, now I'm, like, from America, and I'm not, like, a ladies' man. You know what I mean? I'm, like, a one-woman show or whatever, right? But then I come to another country and I technically have more money. You know what I mean? And then I'm just like my dad, like, and that's why I also say that part of psychology is ecology. Part of psychology is economics. Like this woman showed up to my house to extort me for money because of the economics of the situation. She figures, hey, if I can force this guy to give me more money, right, then I can, like if I can force him to make me more money, like send me more money, then I can, afford the lifestyle I want. You know what I mean? Or I don't have to be in debt anymore because she went and she said allegedly she had to pay for this thing, so she borrowed like 100,000 shillings or something like that. And again, for me, 100,000 shillings is nothing. Like I don't know if I showed you guys the burger I ate, but like that food, the food I ate with my son was like 200,000 shillings. So actually no, that meal that you guys saw with the calamari and stuff, that was 100,000 shillings. Okay. Yeah, these clips are not uploading. So this whole plate,
calamari and prawns
and kachumbari.
And kachumbari.
1,000 shillings. You get what I'm saying? The day before that, with the other crazy lady, or with the crazy lady, I had paid another 100,000 for our meal. You know what I mean? And again, 100,000 is like $50, so it's not really unreasonable to buy for 3 people $50 worth of food. That's another thing too. Restaurants are kind of priced at American prices. So like you don't have to eat at restaurants. You could eat the street food, which is like 2,000 shillings or like $1. But the street food is just as good. In fact, some street food is actually better, and it takes much shorter. So this prawn dish and all that kind of stuff that took like I want to say 2 hours. But anyway. She wanted to shower me, and she did an awful job at showering me. It was like really bad. Like I was not clean afterwards. She kept asking to be a Made in America. Okay, she kept asking me to be a Made in America. Oh, and so I'm gonna be a little graphic. So ladies, cover your ears. She said she wouldn't. No, let me not be too graphic. If Matron wasn't here, I'm like, let me do it. Let me be graphic. Okay. No, I shouldn't. Let me not. All right. Anyway, basically, she said she wouldn't do a certain thing so to avoid becoming pregnant. Right? And basically, you can't get pregnant from that, right? Because basically, she was on her period, and so she wanted to do oral, and she said, I wouldn't finish it a certain way because she wanted to avoid being pregnant. Now, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And apparently, she was saying she was joking. But then she also explained to me, I was joking. Don't forget that I'm a biology teacher. And so she's a biology teacher, and she said that, and I was just like, what? And then she goes, I asked if her, and she also asked me before if her degree would work in the United States. So the day before, earlier in that day when we were at the beach or whatever, she's like, would my degree work in the United States? And it's like, fuck no. No, your degree is not going to work in the United States. You think you get pregnant from a certain thing, a certain act. And then I said, but it probably would work in the South. The motherfuckers is crazy in the South. Anyway, next lady, like I said, the one who was a little westernized, she wasn't that westernized in retrospect, but she's a part of the Hehe people. So in Africa, everybody still has tribes, and like on government papers, you would tell them what tribe you're on, as well as what religion you're on. You don't have the freedom to be like, oh, I'm an atheist. You're either a Christian or a Muslim, pretty much. Although I can't remember. I think I did another document when they asked me about my religion. I was like, I don't have a religion. But, because in America, I was like, in America, we don't have religions type thing. Of course, America gave them fucking religions, but it is what it is. Right? But anyway, she was part of the Hehe people. So the Hehe people did a Hehe rebellion. Okay? Now, why that's interesting is because, this lady, she's telling me, the Hehe people, we're warriors. Like, we're real warriors type thing. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, we actually killed the German emperor. And I'm like, the German emperor? Like, what? And eventually she said, oh, no, she meant the German general. But, like, at the time, I'm just like, I didn't even know Germany had an emperor, let alone that the motherfucker was killed in Tanzania. But she's basically saying that there was this warrior people, who would, apparently their war chant was, hey, 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 hey. Something like, I don't know. But or hey, whatever. But yeah, it's a real thing. There really is a Hehe people who in Tanzania who were so on and so forth. So it's cool. But of course, the tribes are patrilineal, so it's not that you're a pure tribes person as much as your father was a head. All right, so anyway, let's keep going. So she also said there's kitchen parties. So that's what I'm saying about. Even though it might sound like I'm being a dog in Tanzania or Umbwa, I'm learning stuff. You know, so she's telling me that she was at a kitchen party, which basically explains to you how you can. Oh yeah, sorry. In marriage, like before marriage in Tanzania, you would learn how to massage your man. You would learn how to cook. You would learn how to have sex. You know, you learn how to please your man. That type of stuff. I did decide, let me check out how good this stuff is. She was pretty interesting. Not gonna hold you guys, but anyway. Later on, I did mess with that. So that hospital lady, she's kind of like, you know, she's not like she would be like, I'm showing up, and then she's not showing up. That type of thing. Uh, Speaking of which, let me. Yeah, so she would so on and so forth. But finally, she's over at me. Now I don't speak Swahili. Let me tell you guys, this is a little bit dirty, a little graphic. But I say when she looks at you and says "Naomba," and you don't understand a lick of Swahili, but you know what to do as a man. You know what I mean? So she's looking at me, naked. You know, her body's posed in a certain way. You know, backside pointed towards you, and she looks at you and says "Naomba." Now you pull out your translator, like, what did she just tell me to do? But you know what she told you to do. So apparently Naomba. So I said, turns out Naomba doesn't mean anything, right? The Google Translate says I pray, but then I started asking other people, like people translate, and one of them says it says, "May I get something from you?" or "Give me," you know. So it's like, boys. Later on, she does write me about whatever. So her age is it, and that's what I'm saying. This is one of the things about this country is that it's going to be really hard to learn the language because one, when people write it, they write in. So, all right, I'll give you guys an example. There's a song by this lady. It's called Koraba. I can't remember her name, but she's a Ghanaian artist. And basically, she sings this song. I think she's Ghanaian or she's Nigerian, one of them two. But she sings a song in pretty much pidgin or like, you know, basically slang, you know? And so we do it in America too. You know what I mean? Like I would write IDK or IDEK, like I don't know, I don't even know, or like WYM, which is what you mean, right? Which is not even how you would say what do you mean? It's just what you mean, you know? Everybody gets it, right? So they do the same thing. So there's like a word, for instance, like Basi, BASI. And what they would type is BAC, Basi. You see what I'm saying? So now when they send it to you, when they send this text to you and you're translating it, the translation is fucked up. Okay? So even when they're talking, so like you ask this lady, how old are you? And she says Ishi Natano. Okay? Ishi is not a word. Okay? Ishirini is 20. So 20, Natano, 20 and 5, she's 25. But when she says Ishi Natano, you're like, what are you even talking about? So that's a thing as well in this country. Hold on a second. Let me see something. I'm trying to see. So what happens is that people text you in Swahili, and then you have to open up your freaking translator to like understand what they're saying. Some people, anyway, yeah, and they, like I said, like the way how they write, it's just so, yeah. So like even the translation here is like, is not even right, but whatever. All right. So here's the thing I learned when I was in Tanzania too, is that Americans take sports seriously. I can see that more clearly from abroad. It's so weird. But we really do take sports very seriously. Okay. Like really seriously. Cause like a lot of people I follow on Twitter, like are really like the Pan-Africanist intellectual types. And they just keep talking about sports and entertainment and entertainers to a large extent. Now, granted, I don't know what people here in Tanzania are talking about, but I could say that because I don't know what Tanzanian Twitter is like. But I could say, for instance, in regards to WhatsApp, which is where a lot of people are using their communication, there's not too much talk of sports. And in fact, here's what I want to point out too. there aren't really too many athletes here, you know, and probably for good reason because the people here are short. So you're not gonna like they're short and they're poor. So it's not like it's not like you know it's not like that. It's not like you're gonna have a bunch of super athletes. Unlike in America where people are tall and like some of them are poor, but like the country is rich, so it has like good gyms, and so you could like get recruited by somebody with a gym. You know what I mean? Here you don't really have people just like with gyms like that. You know? Um, uh, let me see something. Uh, yeah, and so they misspell things. Some people misspell things either on purpose or by accident, and then yeah, that happens. Anyway, so I said, look, I actually haven't met anyone who wanted to be an entertainer here. Most of us are entertainers in America, including me. Like this is kind of entertainment, right? And then I said, actually, one woman was a filmmaker. So that's another thing. So I'm gonna also say these two things. I'm thinking that I might write a book like this when I go back to America. And by the way, it looks like I might not be able to come back to this country because I'm a cyber criminal. But anyway, be what women really want. Women want a good and humored man who makes her orgasm, shares his wallet liberally, and makes other women jealous of her. How you achieve this is simple, but it takes determination and intelligence. So maybe I might have a book on this subject of, you know, just being what women really want, you know, like being funny, okay? Being able to give her orgasms, you know, good sex, you know, give her some money. You know, the $20 here and there is not gonna break your fucking bank, you know, and makes other women jealous, you know, like show her that you care about her, you know, show her that she's the one, all that kind of stuff. And you know, there's ways to do that. So, you know, but some people are like, hey, you know what about Pan Africanism? So I'll just take that same formula, and it's like be what Africa really needs. So instead of be what women really want, be what Africa really needs. And so Africa needs a good-natured adult, a good person who conducts a productive business. Okay? And actually, it's good that I say productive business. Yesterday, was Shoot the Breeze. Make sure you guys check out Shoot the Breeze, on KWZ Radio. But you know, Bwana was saying something like, "Oh, you know, support black businesses like the church, right?" And it's like that might, you know, maybe in some capacity that's a business. I don't know, but is it a productive business? That's the question. And so what you need to do is you need to be a person who conducts a productive business. Now, what that means, because see, I have a farm now, so I could say that I'm a farmer, but that's not even like really what I'm focusing on. So when I make books, is that a productive business or not? You get what I'm saying? Now I'm thinking I'm gonna make some fiction novel, you know, maybe of this guy, the guy who is what women want and what Africa needs. You know what I mean? Uh, but regardless, like I said, conduct productive business. So everybody, I want you guys to focus on making a productive business, and then shares their earnings liberally with Africa. You share your earnings with Africa, and makes other nations jealous of her. Basically, it's like this. I don't really know the people, but like other nations become jealous if you have like a oh, I'll say it this way. Like I said, back when I was in grad school, this white guy, German or whatever, right? It's like, hey, you're really smart. In fact, you're probably the second smartest guy I've ever met. And I'm like, oh, nice. That's nice. Who was the first, right? And he's like, this guy who's basically like an AI genius, like a guy who's making artificial intelligence like breakthroughs in another college. He's like, that's the smartest guy he knows, right? That's, you know, me. I was a fucking teenager at this point, so I don't really care, like whatever. But like, that's the kind of makes other nations jealous because what happens is this: you might not experience it, I might not experience it, but a guy like that, Germany's writing, hey, can you come and study in our school, or can you come and teach in our school? Can you come into and so forth? France is writing him, you know, America's writing him, China's writing him. Russia's writing him. And the fact that he's in wherever he's in, he might be in America, I don't know. But the fact that he's in America makes other nations jealous. That's what Africa needs. And Africa needs you to be one of those motherfuckers that make other nations jealous. See, unfortunately, like what I'm doing right now, nobody's fucking jealous of Tanzania for me being in Tanzania. You know what I'm saying? If I was, uh, like, I mean, yeah, of course, I buy some land, but I'm not buying that much land, so it's not like, oh, you know, Rwanda's not like, oh my gosh, I wish Oni came to me, you know. And the books I'm writing, they're not like, oh man, I wish Oni was proper. Like they're not doing that right now, and that's fine. And but what you want to do for yourself is that, you know. So maybe I might write a character who does something amazing like artificial intelligence breakthroughs, but that's not even realistic for us, unfortunately. You know. Oh, some of the breakthroughs that we do see is like those videos of like I guess sometimes Nigerians who are like inventing these things or making cars or some shit, you know, like making cars or making energy or making like that kind of stuff. That's cool. Like, you know, wireless powering, you know, no plug, solar energy innovations. That's what makes other nations jealous. That's what makes, you know, China say, "Hey, can you come and like?" Because sometimes you see those inventive black folk, and then other countries are like, "Hey, like America's like, come study with us. Come to America. Let us show you Americanisms." Hold on a second. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize that the volume in the background was so big. Anyway, so what is the next thing I wanted to say? So let's keep going. So yeah, it makes other nations jealous. So how you achieve this is simple, but it takes determination and intelligence. I told this boy to turn on the volume. Hold on a second. Yeah, all right, okay. Anyway, so how you achieve this is simple, but it takes determination and so on and so forth. Okay, so brother from Twitter, Charles, um, Charles3SZ, well, basically Charles says Africa needs focused economic nationalists who do what East Asian nations did to industrialize, ignore the IMF and World Bank, never take loans from them, raise tariffs to protect your infant industries, and don't stop until you dominate economically. And yeah, you know, I agree with that too. So I just wanted to, you know, highlight what the brother was saying because he replied, and you know, I should. So here's another thing I want to tell you guys. Your government is like your parents. Until you leave your parents, you are linked to them. Whites and blacks share the same government, but one is the clear favorite child. I want to point that out for people in America, particularly who might be like, um, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you guys are saying in America, but well, basically, like, yeah, this government is basically your parent. I'm probably just gonna show you guys the like 'cause these videos are not uploading, so I try to upload four at a time. I probably should only try to upload one at a time. I thought the internet was doing better. Oh, you know what I should do? I should probably turn off. No, no, I can't. I can't. I was gonna turn off the internet on my other phone, but all right. Anyway, let's just keep going. I'm gonna see if I can upload. Uh, let's see this one conversation. Oh, this is just some joke I made. Let's see. No, no, no. What's it say? It's Bit of Medicine asked, did Twitter change it again so that you can't see most recent tweets on the TL? And I was like, yo, I saw that like 9 minutes later, so whatever. I said, you think that you want to be a rich man. All right, so this is some general advice. You think you want a rich man, so you should get one. You'll not be satisfied with other men until you're unsatisfied with him. So one of these women tried to hit me up. She was like, you know, basically what you're supposed to do is that some of these women are kind of like, you know, I'll mess with you for a certain amount of money, right? And you're just like, okay, how much money? And so then you ask them, you know, just to see if it's reasonable, and they would say they would give you a number, and so some of them would give you crazy, stupid numbers, and then you could just decline. You know, you could technically you could negotiate with everybody if you want to, but hold on a second. These people mad fucking desperate, yo. They just like some people would just text you a million times. Hold on a second. Yeah, some people just like desperate for cash. Like, dude, I'm not even like stop fucking writing me. You know what I mean? Uh anyway, so like you just have to like stop what you're doing and be like, stop fucking writing me. So like it's just so weird. It's so pathetic. So basically, actually, there was this house girl that um I kind of talked to, and I thought she was like into me, but apparently what she was into was the fact that I had told her once upon a time that I would buy her a better phone so that we could talk, like so we could type each other. But like I totally forgot about that, and so she's been calling me apparently every day because that's what she, like multiple times a day because she thinks I'm going to send her money, like I'm going to buy her a phone, you know? And it's like, damn, like no, bro, like because she's not even cute, you know, like she's not worth the amount of money she's asking for. Um, I mean, for me, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, no. Uh, if you think you want, so anyway, so I said but that's what I'm saying. But I learned that like basically this one woman. So I was like, so what's your price? She's like, buy me a iPhone. And an iPhone's like $1,000,000 shillings. Like, no, I'm not. Like it's like $700 or some shit. Like, no, I'm not even like remotely. Like, there's none of the women. Like I said, a high end woman would be 250,000 max. You know what I mean? Like high end would be 250,000 max, and actually not even really. Like it'd be like 150,000. Um, but you know, you could pretend like if you were like super high end, it would be like 250,000. Um, for somebody to be like, hey, I want $1,000,000 shillings, like that's already a gold digger. And so I stopped talking to them, and I'm just like, look, I started advising them. I said, look, if you want a rich man, you should get one, and because you're going to be unsatisfied. Like you won't be satisfied with other men, like men who are not rich, until you are unsatisfied with the rich man, with the guy you want. And that's one of the relationship advices that I really want people to grasp here is that if you want something, get what you want. And then you might be like, oh, this is not really what I want. Because what happens is that people will tell you, hey, you know, money's not everything. Maybe you don't really want this. Maybe this is not really what you want. And you can't hear them because you want something. You know what I'm saying? And then when you don't get what you want, you're unsatisfied. You're unhappy. So instead of doing that, like for instance, like with me, like let's say if I'm like, hey, I want a woman with big breasts, right? And then I get a woman who doesn't have big breasts, right? I'm going to be looking at women with big breasts, like, damn, that's what I really want. And the woman without big breasts could be perfect. And then finally, you know, like then I ruin it with the woman without big breasts, and then I finally get a woman with big breasts, and I'm like, this isn't all that. Or I'm like, this is just great, you know? But chances are I'll be like, this isn't all that. And then I could actually be happy with the woman who doesn't have big breasts. But that's why you just like you have to know what you want and then just get it. Just go for it. Just like how me, I'm like, yo, I want to go to Tanzania. Then it's like, this really isn't that great. You know what I mean? Now I think I do want to come back. I'm not gonna hold you guys, but it's really not that great. But before I came to Tanzania, it was like all that was on my fucking mind. You know what I mean? Like for years. Like even when I was in Ghana, I was like, no, I gotta go to Tanzania. Ghana is much better than Tanzania. Um, much more fun, much more everything. But even notwithstanding that, it's like, yeah, like I wasn't gonna be happy if I went to Ghana again. You know what I mean? If you think that you want something, you do. You may not want it after you get it, but no one can inform you of this, and you should get it, or else you won't get what is good for you. All right. And the last one is, of course, to save Garvey is the blueprint. You do nothing, but yet you do nothing like Garvey is my definition of insanity. Like if you say that you're like Garvey's thing, so on and so forth. Now I want to give you guys an example of how freaking hard this language is. Okay. To say something like you stopped me, right? The one word for you stop me is umenesimamisha. 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 That is how you say you stopped me. This is allegedly the easiest African language to learn, guys. Yeah. What city will you choose if you return to Tanzania? I think I'm just gonna stay with. I actually never went to any other city. I was gonna go to other cities, but the trouble is that I don't know the language that well, and so when you don't learn, like I'm probably try to learn the language when I'm in America, but if you don't know the language, it's like you might as well not even go to other parts of the city. Like you might as well not, because apparently Swahili is much more deeply there. Now, apparently, here's the thing I didn't realize is that this is not the capital city. So I do kind of want to still check out the capital city. Like I think it's like the Dome or something like that. I don't know. Or the Dome is a brand of wine. I don't know. But I want to check out the capital city while I'm here. I want to check out some villages while I'm here. But yeah, I think Dar es Salaam is probably ideal. Like it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh yeah, so like I was gonna tell you guys, like I said, I had 140 matches on Tinder. Um, so yeah. So like I said, you could just choose. Like you could just pick the best. And it's nothing. Like it's nothing to just pick the best. You know? Let's see. I said, I don't know how to shape crazy lady. She's like, can you call me? Then she shows me off to her sister and friend. And it's the weirdest thing too, because I don't know what's going on. She's like telling me, hey, look, this is my friend. You know, she's so charming. You should meet my friend. And her friend is like, I just can't wait to meet you. All this stuff. And I'm just like, is she setting me up with her sister? I heard her friend. And then so I ask her, and she's like, how dare you even think that? You're the crazy one. And I was like, am I? Like, yeah, I'm joking. I'm not like, am I? But you know, like I know I'm not the crazy one. She's fucking crazy. Like you don't check somebody's phone. Like you don't look through anybody's phone. That's just on the first date. That's stupid. You know. She's also like wildly in love with me apparently. Anyway, so a woman was asked why she slept with Du Bois, knowing he was married. She replied that he had the equipment and knew how to use it. You know. So I'm gonna just make a joke like I may be an African nationalist, a Garveyite, but I share some quality with the Pan Africanists. You know what I'm saying? No, but for real though, like one of the things I learned when I was a youngin was that Du Bois, you know, yeah, he was packing. You know, allegedly. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, the white women were saying he was packing, so it might not mean much, um, but yeah, yeah, Du Bois was sleeping around, and you know. It is what it is. All right. So anyway, so the African experience in America is so different that I'm more and more a believer that to fix the situation is to leave the situation. You know, it's easy to think that nothing is better, yet at a low cost, nothing is worse. I say this as a man with an easy life, even in America. So yeah, in America, I live a pretty easy life. You guys got to remember, like, if I'm on vacation for so long, I just say that I don't actually have to report to any white man and say, hey, you know, that's a pretty easy. You get what I'm saying? That's pretty easy. Especially since it's kind of expensive to travel. And then let alone like, you know, I'm having these adventures. Granted, I don't know if my bank's looking all that great right now. I mean, it is, but sorry, yeah, it is. What am I talking about? But anyway, regardless though, like, I mean, I'm probably spending more money than I'm comfortable with spending. But it is what it is. Like, that said, yeah, that's like that's an easy life. And notwithstanding, having an easy life, I'm just like, realistically, the experience that we have in America is like really piss poor. You know, uh, and I'm saying, like I said, I'm saying this with regards to like having an easy life. Like the life here is actually better than having money in America. You know, having a little money here. I mean, although I'm not necessarily a little money here. Like I don't necessarily say you shouldn't really be anywhere where you have a little money. But that said, like having money in America versus having money in Tanzania, like having money in Tanzania is better. You know what I mean? And because one, it's like much cheaper. Like I'll give you guys an example. Like my rent here is like $300, okay, a month, right? 350. Now you might be like, hey, you can't even fucking lock your window. So, you know. Oh, and here's the thing though, my rent being $350 is actually high. Okay, that's 750,000 shillings. That's actually high. Okay. The rent that somebody else had had a bigger house than mine, like a bigger space than mine. Now they were spending, I think they said 400,000 shillings a month, which is like $200, right? And that would in like 400,000, it'd be like 450, 470,000 if you include electricity and water. Okay, so they're spending like $200 a month, which basically means that yeah, if you like, because in America, if you get like $1,600 a month for rent, like you have a good deal. or something. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know exactly, but like, you know, and of course in New York City, if you have like 2,500, you're a good deal. And I'm not saying that her space was like that big, but it was functional. Like it's bigger than MySpace. MySpace is functional. Like MySpace has a bedroom, a sitting room, and a bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, and usually I don't spend all day in the house. I did it today because I'm doing a podcast and because it's you know, somebody's holiday. But like usually you wouldn't spend all that time. So it's really not that bad. Like it's basically like $10 a day. And that's what you could get at like hotels and stuff, like $10 a day for like a room. Or if you want $20 a day if you're fancy. But anyway, so what are we talking about? So I think I got another text. I think people are just saying some crap about this holiday. But yeah. So that the experience in America is just like this white man. Like this white man does force a bit of professionalism, which is nice. I'm not gonna hold you guys. It's nice, but at the same time, it's like I'd rather deal with black folk and just like even though there's like a general incompetence, a general gross incompetence, it's still better than like being talked down by the white man. Like talking down to black folk is better than being talked down to by the white man. You know what I'm saying? Or even like not even like talking down, like because here's the thing too, because I like honestly, the white man would have me talking down to black folk. You know what I'm saying? Like he would put me in that position where I would have to talk down to black folk and white folk, obviously. But like he was like, hey, you're a competent administrator, you know? So like it's better to just be like that like it's better to be around a bunch of black folk. Like it's lovely. It's wonderful. I'm not even gonna whatever. All right, so let's see. Go to the next written prompt. I don't think I'm gonna upload those next videos. Let me see. Actually, I did want to do the mall though. I wanted to do the mall and the woman walking. You know, it's a little bit perverted, but you know, like I'm not really a pervert. You know what I mean? Like I want you guys to see this country. I want us to really like be serious about Pan-Africanism, like repatriating and getting the experience. And I mean, sure, you might be like, hey, those are just women, and there's women everywhere. And sure, there are women everywhere. You know, fine women and not so fine women. But like, oh, and by the way, the guys, no homo, are also kind of handsome. I wasn't really paying attention for like the last 6 weeks, but I decided let me, you know, try to give some feedback on how the guys look. And yeah, the guys could be possibly interpreted as handsome. Like they could be interpreted as handsome. Like I said, no homo. So like if women are curious about that, like, well, okay, the women look good, but what about the men? Yeah, the men are pretty good looking too. I think they might be short. I think they might be short, and I think they might be broke. But they're probably good looking, you know. And again, like, and I'm just saying that, yeah. All right. So the African experience. So like, yeah, I would say just leave this because the thing is this, like, because I'm reading my book. So I wrote this book called Zubiri, and Zubiri is the story of like Pan-Africanism, and then eventually like creating a black space in America, right? And like how beautiful and how wonderful that would be. And so, you know, Zubiri is like, you know, like the background is the detailing how wonderful black-owned stores and all that kind of stuff is, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like that's pretty much Africa. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much Africa. So what would you be like if you had to fight and kill and destroy and eventually conquer and then invest a whole bunch of billions of dollars in order to build up a miniature nation in America, right? Just so that it could look like Africa, when you could just go to fucking Africa. And the thing is that even if it looked like Africa, you made your own little space in America, not everybody's gonna fucking join it. So you're just gonna build this community in America and nobody's really gonna join it, and you're still gonna be at odds with your neighbors, and you're still gonna be at war with your neighbors. And it's like, for what? Just so you could have a black neighbor when you could just fucking go on an airplane? You could just go on a damn airplane and you'd have you wouldn't have community right away, but if you fucking build a space, you can. Like, I'll give you guys an example. In fact, check this out. So this lady has her fucking address on Google Maps. Why? I don't know. She has an address. So basically, like, when I'm looking for different hotels and lodges to go to, right? I open up Google Maps and I look at the locations nearby. And if they have the hotel symbol, right, I go and check it out and I ask them, hey, how much is this? Whatever, right? So this lady does that for her own house, right? And now, granted, she names it something that sounds like it's somebody's house, but notwithstanding that, I'm like, let me check this out because it could just be a stupid ass name for a hotel, right? I go to her house. I'm all hody. She comes outside. She's all right, you know. But she comes outside and she's like, "Hey, your kid can come play with my kid," you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know. And granted, her kid's like 3, so no, her kid's like 2, so no, my kid's kind of old. But I get her phone number because I'm a dog, and I wasn't really gonna. I don't know how things work here. Let's investigate. But anyway, I get her phone number, and I'm like, oh, I find out from her WhatsApp that she's like does catering, so she might cook something for me. So I might show that off to you guys later. But the point is that you can form community by just meeting with your neighbors, and that's realistically like you form community in 2 ways. One is you fucking build a family. You build a family with your community philosophy. So what happens to Zubiri is like Zubiri has this story where they have daycares that are run by the community, and they have community clubs, they have community, all that kind of stuff. That's not real life though, right? In real life, you can form a community, but it's probably going to be a little harder in Dar es Salaam. But it probably won't even be, because what you could do is you could just build a freaking daycare in your community. You could just build a fucking daycare in your community, and then you have a community space. You could build a bar in your community, then you have a community bar. You could do that shit. So so what I'm saying is this: you can do that pretty much anywhere on the planet. But if you want it to be black run and like really low key, like no police harassment, no legal harassment kind of shit, you could do that in Africa. All right, so that my phone just said that it's on low charge, so I'm gonna charge it now. But yeah, you could do that in Africa. It's not even that complicated, and that's really like what I'm trying to communicate to people. Let's go to the next one. I looked up capitalism idiot. Let me see. Yeah, I looked up capitalism etymology. It's from 1854. Okay, capitalism, the word is from 1854, from the satirist William Thackeray, which basically means one who is rich. So the pro and anti-capitalism entertainment complex is just shits and giggles because Adam Smith, wasn't a capitalist. Okay, people be saying, "Oh man, I want to be pro-capitalist, I want to be anti-capitalist." It's nonsense. Okay, it's nonsense because it's just a word that this guy used to make fun of rich people. Like you could actually do that, but pretty much to make fun of rich people and their behavior. That said, yeah. When you say, "Hey, I want to make because people do this," because there was somebody brother on the Discord. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Join the Discord. But like this brother on the Discord was like, "Hey, I want to be a neo-capitalist." Blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, don't even bother. Man from Lavemba, by the way. But anyway, he's like, "I want to be a neo-capitalist," and it's like, don't bother with calling yourself a capitalist because the word is just used to trigger people. It's not a real economic system. You understand? What Adam Smith was just detailing was just kind of like, I don't want to say mercantilism, but it's just economy. It's just economics. It's just economics. You could say, hey, capitalism has more people who are investing in things, on a side, whatever. But like, it's not a real economic system for you to then be like, oh, I'm a capitalist, I'm a neo-capitalist. Just do just open up the fucking daycare. Okay, just open the daycare. Just open the gym. just make the cars. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to give a name to it. If you want to build a community, just build a community. And of course, you would start with your family first, because that's a building block of your community. But then you connect with the other communities. Like I said, I walked over to my neighbor's house, and she's like, "Hey, you can play with my kid," and blah blah blah. That's how you build community. You go to your neighbor, and if your neighbor's cool, then you guys are friends. And then if you and your neighbor are friends, you guys go to business together. Productive business together. That's it. It's not complicated. It's not whatever. So I say no one was a capitalist. It wasn't a philosophy, just a word a English novelist used to mock rich people. You don't even need a name. Just build a business and a family and a community through that. So build a business, build your family and your community through your business. Okay? First things first, build a productive business. That's not even the first thing. Obviously, you could go three ways. You could go community, you could go family, you could go business. It's all the same. It's really all the same. Just do that. I want to give you guys some advice. So I say, so the other crazy is now threatening me, boys. I said I could play the audio. Yeah, I recorded us. Then I say, so at 1 o'clock, I'm like, she's threatening me. And at 2 o'clock, I'm like, she showed up at my door, bros. And then at 3 o'clock, I'm like, bros, I'm bleeding, LOL. She threw my deodorant at the floor, and glass shards tore through my foot. And then I said 7:21, 4 hours later. They forced me to delete after misreading cybercrime law. Police actually told me to send him the video. Like fucking idiot. So then I think I have a snippet of what the cybercrime law says. So it says, a person shall not publish, make sure you guys remember the word publish. A person shall not publish or cause to be published through a computer system or through any other information and communication technology, A, pornography, or B, pornography which is lascivious or obscene. So 2, a person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction in the case of publication of A, pornography to a fine of not less than 20 million shillings. That's a lot of money, by the way. That's a lot of money. A, or to imprisonment for a term of not less than 7 years, or both. And B, pornography which is lascivious or obscene to a fine of less than 30 million shillings, or to imprisonment for a term of not less than 10 years, or to both. So like that's not a joke, obviously. So if I were to publish the pornography, that's big trouble in this country. I did not publish any pornography, so it's like they really had no jurisdiction. Although everybody was carrying around fucking guns. I said check this out. So my wound ended up healing. These fuckers at the pharmacy are like, let's see your wounds first. Like this country just gets you so fucking pissed. Like I said, I was traveling with my interpreter, like with a friend of mine, right? And she's just like, I'm like, hey, can you go into this pharmacy and just get me some peroxide? Because I've been bleeding for I told you guys I started bleeding at 3. It's like 8 o'clock by the time I finally get the peroxide, right? So my wound is already like closing up, right? But I still want the peroxide. So I tell the lady I tell my friend, go into the store and get the peroxide. I'm sitting down in the Bajaji, which is like a golf cart, which is basically like the poor man's car, right? And she's like, hey, Oni, can you come out here? And I'm like, what do you want? So I go out, hobble out on my freaking, broken ass foot. And she's like, the pharmacist wants to look at the cut before they give you the fucking peroxide. Bear in mind, the peroxide is 2,000 shillings, so it's like $1, okay? The pharmacist wants to look at my cut before he gives me I go in there and I'm just fucking pissed at this point. Because it's like, how fucking childish do you have to be as a people to just not fucking just give me the fucking peroxide? I just want to buy peroxide. So the guy's like, let me look at the wound first. Hey, the pharmacist, let me look at the wound first before I give you the... No, I said, no, shut the fuck up and give me my fucking peroxide right now. I went there. I was just fucking pissed. I was like, give me the peroxide. And they're like, but and she's like, and I'm like, no, I want the peroxide for something else. I want it for something else. Just give me the damn peroxide. They give me the peroxide, they give me the change, and just get the fuck out. Because it's just like how, what? And then she's actually mad at me in the car. She's like, this is the right thing, she's actually laughing at me, like, hey, you're so wrong. I mean, if somebody, like, are you a medical professional? Well, why should they give you peroxide if you're, like, what are you talking about? I just want peroxide. I've been sitting. I was injured at 3 o'clock. I couldn't even leave my fucking house. I had to go to a fucking police precinct and get forced to delete videos that is not against the freaking law. Oh my gosh. Buana, are you here yet? Buana's not even showing up, boys. Anyway, that's it. I wounded up healing, blah, blah, blah. A woman I was messing with sent her sister to help me with this case, boys. Oh yeah. So a woman I was messing with, right? Because I put up on WhatsApp status. Does anybody know any doctors or lawyers? Like anybody know any lawyers? And I totally forgot that everybody that I have on my WhatsApp pretty much was the foot video was porn in their world? No, matron. Porn was porn in their world. But they have like morality police who also extort you for money, you know? So the morality police are like, hey, this is immoral. Give us this amount of money so that we can do our job. Yeah, so stupid. But no, it was real. It was actual porn. Anyway, a woman I was messing with sent her sister to help me with the case, boys. So like the thing is that you can't have this lady know that you recorded a film with another woman instead of like seeing her, you know. Anyway, Major says okay, phew. All right. Ended up sleeping at the house. I window barricaded like a coward. Why I paid the police without this woman's arrest? So again, like I wrote to the police officer. He's like, you're safe, but he did not confirm that this woman was arrested. So I don't think she's arrested. I think she could be listening to me outside my window right now, boys. But it is what it is, you know. Let's see. Had to say I was a Christian on the police report. My translator eventually said I needed to be saved. Police telling me you're either Christian or Muslim. That's another thing you learn in this country. So I said the good woman that I was talking to has a boyfriend. You don't win in this country. She said I actually sent her money for a new phone. And it is ironic because this other woman was all bugging me. But I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna send any woman money, I'll send this woman. And meanwhile, she has a whole boyfriend and she's not even talking to me because she's like hanging out with her boyfriend. If it's worth so like I'm telling this lady if she's if her video is so worth so much, why doesn't she just sell it? You know what I mean? Because she's like, my video's worth so much, you know. And then like I said, how I got this number from this lady was this other girl, this lady at the thing. I was just like, Nina Hitaji Nambari, and she goes, Nambari Yako. So Nina Hitaji Nambari means I need numbers, and Nambari Yako means your number, and she should have said Nambari Yangu, but whatever. So I'm going to show you guys an example. This is like a alleged text from Amazon between this driver and the Amazon and like Amazon. And the text goes, your app is showing you as having gone off route. The routes are planned to be as productive as possible. Please don't deviate again. Consider this your first written warning. And he's like, hi, sorry, mate. I needed the loo. Stopped off at BP, literally 2 minutes off the route. The app skipped my break, was going to raise that in debrief when I got back. Can you clarify what you mean by written warning? Thanks. And he's like, you're self-employed. You're not entitled to a break. If you don't like it, find somewhere else. Drink less and you won't have to piss as much. We give you waterproof bags. Piss on one of those if you're desperate. You know? So yeah. But like I said, that's the kind of professionalism that, you know, this white boy demands while you're in the West. And, you know, we kind of don't like it in the West. But here in Tanzania, this doesn't exist. Like the guy, like the delivery man will say, hey, it's raining. I'm not delivering food right now. Delivery man would say that, which is crazy. All right. So anyway, so I said like it's just so black here. So anyway, there's this somebody was making this talk about Kagame. Kagame is like, you shouldn't do the IMF, you shouldn't do the World Bank. And they're like, hey, Kagame just got $200 million from the IMF, $360 million from the World Bank. And so I'm like this. Look, I'm not defending him, but at what point will black people create their own bank and discuss how they are loaning to themselves for their vision or development? Their division of development. You know under what circumstances I'm turning down $200 million? When I'm counter offered proportionately. Like, what are you turning down $200 million for? You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, I'm going to turn, like I wouldn't turn down $200 million. I mean, of course I would, right? But notwithstanding that, you know, like that demand on other people with human lives on their hands. You know what I mean? Like if I'm responsible for let's say 50 million people, and you know, 5 million of them are starving. Okay, you know, 5 million of them are hungry, underemployed, and you're just turning down $20 million to make somebody happy. Okay, that's cool. But if you're going to turn down $20 million, what are you getting as well? You know what I mean? Are you getting $150 million from a black bank? Is that what's going on? Are you getting $100 million from a black people who really care about you? Or is it that you're just turning down $20 million for nothing? You know, and that's really, you know, the big question at hand. You know, that's really the big question at hand, because we condemn these leaders for taking money from these white boys. But like I said about how you build communities, these white boys just build these fucking banks. They just build these world banks. They just build these IMF, these international monetary funds. They just do it. And then they start loaning money to themselves. And then other people say, hey, can I get a loan too? And they're like, sure. Now, what you could do in your communities, you could build a fucking bank. You could build a susu. But I would say build a fucking bank, right? And be like, hey, you come here if you want to get a loan, and you just have to pay it back. And then you make it bigger and better and bigger and better. But instead of doing that, what we're doing is we're sitting on our ass and we're saying, how could you let this white man, how could you go to this white man to build your bank? You know, like I was thinking about how Americans are so focused on entertainment. And then the people who would get you access to the entertainment venues, right, are sometimes people would say, like, you know, I guess they call them small hats or whatever, right? They could get you access to the auditorium that you don't have access to. But then you think to yourself, do you build an auditorium? Do you build an entertainment studio? Do you build this, so on and so forth? And if you don't, then why are you surprised when your people go to other people to build those auditoriums? Okay? Let me actually tell this person. Hold on a second. So, like, that's what we have to, as a people, really start to gravitate towards, is that you have to build for yourself. You have to build your own community. You have to build your own stuff, because if you're not building your own stuff, then you can't really complain about other people going to other people. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. One is that most of us go to other people already. You know, if I want to earn some money in America, if I want to earn some money in America, I could go to this white boy and say, hey, I want a job. I want some money. I want to give you my labor, and then you give in exchange for your money. Okay? And then that's us. So now on an international or a national stage, if you don't do that, like if you're like, hey, I want some money, and the only person offering money is these white folk, who are you gonna ask? Anyway, so I said, give me West African food, family. Like, I think, like, West Africans seem to spice their foods. I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm not really digging the food here. So I was just gonna say, I was gonna end with a joke, I guess. I said, if Cardi B was East African talking about no cooking, no cleaning, I'd believe it. Like, I'd actually desire that. Like, I desire women here who did not cook and clean. You know, because the food here is not really all that. She's like, I don't cook, I don't clean. And then here's the cleanliness part. Like, I'm telling you, these women would go on your bed with their clothes on and think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't like outside clothes in my house, and I communicate that, but they're just like, yeah, it sucks. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of the podcast, family. I'm actually appreciative that you guys showed up. I know it's a little earlier. I guess Bonna can check out the sister on the playback. But yeah, we had an interesting week. We had an interesting week. And until next time, you know, Shem Hotep, Anku Ja Seneb Neb, Amen Ma'at, Dua Necher, Kwaheri.